Linux Foundation puts Chromium browser makers into a neutral room. CES 2025, and I broke a computer. More in this episode of No Tax Allowed. Hello everybody, it's me Bigpod, and as you can see I'm alone. Oh no, there is no interesting people with me. There is no Josh. So, due to myriad of issues like scheduling and broken computers, it's only me. What happened with the broken computer? We're gonna talk later in the episode. So let's begin. So our first topic on the docket is Linux Foundation is banding together Chromium-based browser makers in what could be considered a neutral space. They are currently aiming to better organize and fund development efforts of the Chromium, therefore making the downstream browsers better, but also make Chromium better because of that. So the news topic will be in the description down below and in the show notes, as always. And we're going to be using source from Ars Technica. They're describing this as, well, a neutral space to support and corral together big names with a stake in future of Chromium. What are those big names, you probably ask? People like Google, Meta, Microsoft, Opera. Yeah, these are not big companies you would see together, right? But all of them in one way or another care about Chromium browser. Well, it is supposed to have like an open governance model, at least according to the foundation, that's Linux Foundation, and it's supposed to how to say this? Yeah, I alone. This is really sad when I'm alone. And it's gonna have the same or similar model that has been already proven successful by other initiatives in the Linux Foundation, which promote transparency, inclusivity, and community-driven development. The Foundation's structure that's already supported and the initiatives that are already supported by Linux Foundation are like Kubernetes, Node.js, RISC-V, and Linux, which is why the name. So, for those of you who are like, why would Linux Foundation care about Chromium browser? Well, for a while now, Linux Foundation is just Linux. It's things that run on Linux and are important to open source. Again, stuff like Kubernetes, stuff like Node.js, things that are actually quite important to Linux. And currently it's not really outside of Google yet, but the belief is that, or the idea is that it would get like less and less just Google. And Google has been slowly loosening its control over the project, so especially in the last couple of years, so they are actually allowing non-Google developed features, which is something that before 2020 was like a giant wow if it happened. And there are a lot of people who are hoping that Chromium would move outside of Google and go into a neutral development space, which something like Linux Foundation could very well provide a really good model for it. And we should remember, Chromium doesn't just support a browser named Chrome, a browser named Edge. It supports things like Electron, things like Chromium Embedded Framework, something I'm using right now in OBS, and many number of browsers that are embedded in things. And yeah, I think this is a good move for Chromium and should provide maybe even better support for Chromium itself. And decoupling it from Google is, like, in my opinion, a really good idea because, well, Chromium engine is the center of www, the World Wide Web. So, yeah. Well, but I do have a couple of notes from my normal co-host, Josh, or the main host, really. And he noted that, well, Linux Foundation should probably also sponsor Mozilla, not just Chromium. But I think he's forgetting what this means. They are not sponsoring Chromium. They're not giving the money. What they're doing is they're trying to be a steward of Chromium. So what it means is that they would like to be the ones who not control, but who keep an eye on people who develop. Same thing they do for many other projects, like, again, Linux. They're the main people because they pay the main developer, but they're also the employees are also the ones that keep an eye on, or better example with Kubernetes, Cloud Native Linux Foundation, where they provide support for developers who develop these tools. And I think that's the same thing that should happen here. And not just that they would provide money, which is what I think which the things that are provided by Linux Foundation, what will most likely provided by Linux Foundation in this case, are already provided by our Mozilla when it comes to Firefox. But he does also know that if this means that Chromium moves away from Google, that's actually a good thing, even if it just Linux Foundation just supports Chromium. But also, like, Linux Foundation should probably support only one browser. In this case, Chromium, if you ask me. It is the center of attention. But I think I'm gonna move on to the second topic, which will be actually what I alluded to before we started. I broke a computer. So, okay, I didn't actually break a computer. A fan broke. So I have my laptop, or I had my laptop, should I say, which used to be, or was, like, the main device I used for the last month, when I switched over to the remote workflow model, which is what I use during the big live stream. And, well, it got unusually hot over time, as I noticed. And earlier this week, when I booted it up, Dell's very helpful diagnostic system started, which was actually very scary for me. And the only thing it was testing was fans. My laptop has one fan for the CPU, and it was reporting not working, as in it wasn't spinning. So I did some tests, and yes, fan is not spinning, and laptop quickly very heats up. So my guess is my fan broke. And if you're right now seeing this, like, zooming in, zooming out, or like focusing and light, I'm using a different camera this week, and yeah, it's not well set up. Sorry. Hopefully next week will be, or the bright is changing. That's not me doing it. That's the camera doing it. Sorry. I probably should put a bit of more light on me. So yeah, now my fan isn't working, and that's a big problem for me, because that's how I was that was my main computer. So what I did, as you know, I'm using this remote workflow pattern, so I would have to literally go, and one of my systems would have to become desktop again, because I took my old desktop, or my new desktop really, the current one, and turn it into a server. Now I have to turn it back into a server or make the GPU output be a thing, which is already a problem for me. Which would be a problem because I'll have to move my computer and recable manage everything and bunch of problems. So what I did, I pulled out of storage my old S20 FE, the Samsung device. It's a phone. And I decided I'm gonna do a month or 2 months of Samsung DeX. So yes, I'm using since my old S20 FE, which I haven't been using for a while now, supports the use of Samsung DeX if you have an external monitor connected, which due to having a hub for my laptop, I have since Type-C and all that. All I did was I plugged, where normally my laptop would be plugged, I plugged in my phone, installed Moonlight on it, and voila, I have everything I need. Of course, I am currently using some insane methods, I accidentally found a long cable, so I'm using that long cable to power my second monitor, so I actually get some output from the GPU that is assigned to my desktop, which would have worked, but I was again stuck with one monitor because I didn't know I had that cable. So now I do, now I have to. Now I could have done it, but now I'm already stuck with the idea of using an Android phone. And now I know that my laptop got unusually hot because, well, my phone has been running this for last 3 days. And it's ice cold. So now I know that it's my laptop that was the problem, not actually just things being hard to process, but my laptop being the problem, because it was using Intel media encoder to encode things. So it wasn't hardware encoding, it was just hot enough to actually heat up the chassis that wasn't dissipating any heat because there was no fan. So now, yes, I'm using a phone to be a client device for essentially a VM. I'm going to switch back to a laptop, or better yet, when I can, I'm going to buy myself a client device. So, yeah, if you want me to want to help me buy a client device, or maybe a few, and we can experiment with that, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/notaxallowed. You can see our Patreon down in the description, or the text that accompanies your podcast, or right now in the video version on the screen right below me, which I don't know how it will look because, well, I haven't yet decided how I'm going to make this look for one person only. And yeah, this is gonna be, you can help us, first of all, the money will go to helping us run this podcast, stuff like servers, hosting, storage, but then we want to fund, whether it be travel, whether it be insane projects, and maybe even a client device or two for me, or some storage, or some desktop or a streaming setup for Josh. So join on our Patreon right down below, no tax allowed, and help us out. So now let's go from a Dell laptop that I own to a Dell at CES. So let's go into the topics of Dell or really the CES topic as a whole. So first off, as I already alluded to, we're gonna be talking about the new Dell naming scheme. So let me just find the Dell naming scheme. Their low-end market for your standard laptops for consumers were either Vostra, which was really not really consumer, but prosumer low-end market was Vostra, with more normal consumer being Inspiron, while their more premium line for consumer laptops was XPS. On the professional side, on the think of it as professional but like middle grade, were either Latitude or Optiplex. Optiplex being the desktops and Latitude being the laptops, and Latitudes are amazing. All I can say. Bar this one issue, I love my Latitude, but their high-end line of professional gears is called Precision, which can be found in both laptop and desktop versions, or could be found in the past, with G Series and Alienware being their more, shall we say, gaming laptops, but not anymore. From CES on, you have Dell Pro, and Dell Pro Max, each being split into Base, Pro, Base Plus, and Premium. So, what would be your Dell Precision? So, high-end professional market. That would be Dell Pro Max, with higher end of the Dell Pro Max being Dell Premium or Dell Plus. What would be your XPS? That would be Dell Premium, the consumer side, which are designed for, according to them, designed for play, school, and work. With Dell Pro being designed for professional and great productivity, with Dell Pro Max designed for maximum performance. So, for example, my Latitude would be Dell Pro Plus. And we already see some similarity with Dell Premium being XPS and so on. And honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about this naming scheme. I really do like the old naming scheme, and it was easy to remember. Buy a Latitude. Now I have to remember that it will buy Dell Pro Plus or Dell Pro Premium. Or Dell Premium. Maybe I might go for an XPS equivalent next time, especially if I go for 13-inch laptop, because now it's a how to say this? Now it's a client device. I don't need more power. I just need a screen and a keyboard. I need good screen and a good keyboard, and that's all I need. But in other CES news, what else do we have? Well, here we go. There are some cool technologies. There are some weird technologies, as always. But first off, we're going to talk about NVIDIA Blackwell RTX 50 series. So, during an opening keynote, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, hopefully I'm saying that right, came on stage with his signature jacket and revealed the new consumer/professional prosumer cards, the new 50 series, RTX 50. With their GeForce RTX 5070, 5070 Ti, and 5080 and 5090. With the last one being the most powerful card NVIDIA ever produced, but also extremely expensive at $2,000. The start of the lineup, but in my opinion, and in the opinion of the creators of the article we're referencing, is the 5070, which supposedly gives us performance of a 4090 for just $550. They give some examples of the music, and one thing I'm really not happy that they're also reliance on DLSS and the whole frame gen, with some already are yelling on the internet about the fake frames. Although they're fake. It's not that much of a problem. The bigger problem is that reliance on DLSS, which is AI-based upscaling, which I don't like because it ruins the creative of the actual creator of the game, an artist, or a whole army, as it's true in the AAA games. But it also just is not right. Come on, why is such a problem playing on 1080p if you don't have power for 4K? But yeah, they like it, so I guess that's it. But one that Josh really has a problem with are TVs with AI. Yeah. So first off, there's been some big TVs, interesting TVs that were shown on CES floor with the QLED, OLED, quantum dots, mini LED, I believe it's called. All of those showed some really amazing potential for the future, with things like screen that bends outward to give a slight 3D effect. For example, if a shark is going to you, like it's one of the demos I saw on the internet. But one that irks both me and Josh is the whole idea of AI-powered TVs with ChatGPT or what is in LG and Samsung cases, Copilot integration, with Google unveiling a new TV operating system which promises Gemini on the TV. But it's still to be determined whether those TV features will be more gimmicks or useful things. And I think it's gonna be gimmicks, but let's see what Josh has to say about this. Yeah, the worst part about the TVs is the AI integration. All he wants in life with a TV is an affordable display that supports DPMS, which is DPMS. I don't even know what DPMS is. So he mentioned DPMS, or VESA Display Power Management Signaling, which is essentially a standard from VESA Consortium, and VESA is known for the mounts, but it's Video Electronics Standards Association, which, well, that's standards for video and electronics. It's mostly known for the standard of mount, but they also do other things like DisplayPort. An HDR implementation is one of the HDR implementations is VESA standard, but yeah, the most important one would be like DisplayPort for us computer nerds, for computer people, because DisplayPort is what is used on computers and is the best connector there is. But they also do HDR, and what is probably most known as is VESA standard for mounting, or what I believe it's properly named as Flat Display Mounting Interface, or VESA Mounting Interface Standard, what we colloquially call VESA mount. It was originally called Flat Panel Monitor Physical Mounting Interface. Horrible name. But yeah, they also have a standard for power management of video monitors. Example of such is turning off, examples of things that are mentioned this standard is turning off, putting monitor into standby mode after idle time, and not just home monitors and TVs, also the commercial displays may incorporate this technology. First came in 93, but it is based on Energy Star power management specifications, which, well, for monitors, a great thing, but I don't know. Probably very important, but I don't know if I that need it, because I turned my monitor off by hand anyway. Josh also mentioned that it needs HDMI ARC input, HDMI ARC input selection, to correct myself, which is basically that you can select which port has ARC, I believe. Well, but what he doesn't need is apps or internet connection. And he hates everything he saw TV-wise. Well, I have to agree, Josh. While I do think that some ideas for apps are a thing, like having internet connection to, if you're always watching things like Netflix, things like HBO Max or Max, or something like that, yeah, it might make sense to just put a computer in your TV. But as soon as you want to go out of those waters, you should probably have a set-top box or what is more proper, some sort of device that you connect the TV to and have then TV talk to it and just display signals, which could be a computer, a tiny computer, or something provided to you by your ISP if you're using IPTV, or by Apple, by their Apple TV, or by Google and Chromecast, or any other such device. Like, they're like Android TV based boxes. All that should be before using smart TV features. And yes, there are TVs that are just basically dumb displays, which is what me and Josh want. Problem is that most of those TVs are industrial in nature and don't support the cool features like DPMS and some of the like consumer-oriented features. So, what else was shown in the CES? Let's see. Of course, there was some robotic stuff. Well, as we mentioned, there are also some of the new and big, not just Lenovo, but some of the handheld devices, and one of the big ones was Lenovo introducing their new Go, I believe Go 2 and Lenovo Go S, which include SteamOS. So this is where the Steam Power feature comes into the play. So we have, I cannot find the right data. Lenovo Legion. Give me a moment. I'm probably gonna cut this out, but yeah. Okay, so they announced Lenovo Legion Go S, their 8.1 inch device, either powered by SteamOS, or powered by Windows. It's the first non Steam Deck device that is announced with SteamOS. While I still don't think that means that we're gonna see SteamOS on the desktop, I think what it means is that there will be Lenovo power devices or SteamOS power devices, which is good for SteamOS and Linux gaming. There is also, and it's Lenovo Linux Go S is basically 8-inch screen with VRR support and Hall effect joysticks, and it's, as I said, first officially licensed handheld device powered by SteamOS. And they also announced Legion Go, for which I am not sure if it actually has SteamOS version or not. Basically, it's currently a prototype planned to feature a native landscape OLED display, to double the RAM amount to previous generation, and much bigger battery than compared to previous generation. They also announced some monitor, new laptops and stuff like that in their Legion lineup. We also, now then, more on CES, we also saw a new TV, many new TVs, as I said, like the bulging TV, rolling TVs, and all that sort. But we also saw some really weird robots, like Roborock Saros Z70, which is a robot vacuum with a hand. Also, I just realized I still have my headphones on, despite not actually needing them. So this can go here. Yes, I just removed my headphones for all the audio listeners. Well, and there were actually some smart glasses as well. Smart locks, laptops, and stuff like that. Ooh. Japanese car maker Honda revealed its next phase of its push into more sustainable automotive industry with Honda Zero, a series of EVs that will launch in 2026 and are supposed to look something out of a sci-fi film, but honestly I don't think really it will happen, because those are concept cars. I think what will happen is they will probably make a more typically looking car by the 2026. Also, LG and Microsoft Xbox have some gaming ambitions apparently in the cloud. We all know that Microsoft tried to move console market to cloud now, but in their first official partnership, or in their first partnership with one of the first partnerships is LG, and the owners of select LG smart TVs will soon be able to roll up Xbox Game Pass straight to the device's new gaming portal, bringing a massive selection of games to something that isn't really a gaming device. It's a TV. The gaming, according to LG, gaming portal is supposed to be an all-in-one solution for both casual and hardcore gamers. Yeah, I doubt it. My keyboards, yeah, like everybody was there, and yeah, like there are apparently some really interesting things, apparently some weird things. Well, your standard CES. I actually didn't watch that much of it because, well, I do not normally really even care about what comes out of CES, because three-quarter things don't hit market at all. but like 5090, that definitely checked out. I also check out like the Dell thing, but like in general, nothing else is that interesting like to me. Again, the TV stuff. You have things like dimming zones. Yeah, there are more micro LED things. Okay, so I think that will be it. Okay, cut out. Okay, so I think at this point I've rambled enough. Clearly, there is not enough with me alone. So I hope I'll be able to get Josh to join us back next week for a proper episode of No Tax Allowed with Josh and me. Let's see what I can accomplish. So, but before I go, I need to remember to tell you guys about, well, our amazing socials. You can check us out at, well, me and Josh, at our Mastodon profiles. They should be down there. Like, if you don't know what Mastodon is, or anything that is connected to ActivityPub Fediverse, so that will be your Mastodons, your Pleromas, your threads in select regions, and such things. You can also check us out again at our Patreon, where you can donate money to us, but you can also contact us on our email address, which you can find right below me right now and in the description and the text accompanying the podcast, where we're going to talk about, we can talk to us about anything you want. The same can be done on Discord, which is again description and in the text accompanying the podcast. Show notes. I remembered it. Good job, me. Discord, where you can join our growing community, and you can also subscribe to us on our personal YouTube channels. Again, in the show notes description and right below me right now, where we might post videos. Well, I have 3 videos planned for near future. 2 of them are recorded. One of them is currently in the making, the Samsung Dex Challenge. It's not really a challenge, it's the I don't have a laptop, I'm waiting for it to be fixed type of challenge. So, yeah. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Again, I kind of feel lost without Josh. So, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you next time. Oh, don't forget, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to us. We're trying to get subscribers. And like the podcast episode. And if you're on the audio version, thank you. It's our main source of truth is what we first upload to, and if you subscribe to us on Patreon, you get a email with password to our more advanced, more awesome, better quality feed, where you have like things like 320, I believe it is, 320 kilobit per second, or whatever the metric is, kilobyte per second, kilobit audio feed, and yeah, that's the main benefit. And in future we're gonna have more benefits. Oh yeah, I forgot, we have a pre-show. Today we didn't have a pre-show because, well, Bigpod doesn't have a pre-show. Bigpod just hits the record on his normally hits the record on his laptop so he can see that the record is happening and has times. Now he doesn't, because now he don't have to edit on a bit of a kind of crappy setup. And yeah, you probably saw me reaching. That was because of that, because I'm used to reaching. And yeah, we'll hear you and see you in next time. Yeah, I'm rambling. Sorry. Goodbye. Holy crap, I was rambling. And cut.